Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. In this video I'm going to be taking you guys through a detailed tutorial on how to do the basic makeup look that's gonna put you all the way together. I know there are so many trends out there as to how to do your makeup every single day, and you wake up to different trends. It's confusing for the basic girly, for the beginner. This video is going to show you guys what you need to know, the basics, and how to make your makeup look good, last long, flawless, and looking like you. So if you want to see how this video goes down, carry on watching and let's get right into it. Starting off, when it comes to eyebrows, everybody has a different technique as to how they do the eyebrows. My eyebrows are microbladed, so I like to do them in a different way. So I'm just gonna skip through the eyebrow part and we're gonna get to the meat of the tutorial. To get a good base, you need to moisturize. I like this one from Versus, the Verse Rich Moisture Cream, and it just really moisturizes my skin before I go into foundation. I have oily combination skin, but I still like to moisturize my skin because if I don't, the makeup is not going to look good on my skin. So definitely invest in a good moisturizer that's going to help your base look good. This is on the affordable side. You want to make sure that the moisturizer sits on your skin for a minute or two before going into the next step. The next step is to prime. You need a good primer. Like I said, I have oily combination skin. I make sure to prime my skin with a primer that works for my skin type. Currently really loving this one from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Liquid Polish Putty Primer. It works for my skin. If you have dry skin, you definitely need to invest in a primer that would work for your dry skin type. A primer sets as a base between your skin and the makeup you're going to be applying. It allows for a smooth base. It's for your makeup to last long, and it just helps to reduce texture. There are primers that actually help to fill out the pores in your skin so your makeup looks overall smoother and lasts longer. So definitely look into the type of primer you need for your skin. There are primers that are good at controlling oils, are good at balancing the color of the skin, good at helping the skin and has skincare benefits. They include actives such as niacinamide, among other beneficial skin actives. So definitely look into a primer that is going to work for your skin. Like I said, my skin is oily combination and I like to control oils. I just want my makeup to look good and last long because my skin produces a lot of oils and it would break the makeup apart. So I look into getting primers that work for my skin type. Definitely allow the primer to sit on your skin for a minute or two before moving on to the next step. Next step is foundation. Again, there are different types of foundation for different skin types. There are hydrating foundations, there are mattifying foundations, and there are foundations that have skincare benefits. Look on Google, do a lot of research before you invest in buying a foundation because it's expensive and it's definitely an investment. There are also affordable foundations on the market that work just great. I have a few recommendations. I would link a video up here. I reviewed the e.l.f. foundation. I've also been using the Maybelline skin tint, which works so well for my skin type. So definitely look into getting foundations that fit into your budget and work for your skin type. Foundation helps to unify the skin, and people have been blessed with flawless skin and they don't need a lot of coverage. So there are foundations out there that have light to medium coverage. If you have a lot of hyperpigmentation on your face, definitely invest in a full coverage foundation that would help cover up the hyperpigmentation on your skin and give you an overall flawless base. For foundation, I'm using the Maybelline skin tint with vitamin C. This is a skin tint, but it definitely has a lot more coverage. Again, when it comes to foundations, you need to find a foundation that would fit your skin tone. I have made a detailed video on how to find your foundation skin tone. There are also other avenues to find a foundation that matches your skin tone. It's either you walk into Sephora or Ulta to get shade matched, or if you have a foundation in your arsenal that currently matches your skin type, there is a website called foundation.com. You can just put the brand and the foundation and the shade that you are using at this point in time to get your shade match in a setting foundation that you are looking for. So there are definitely different ways to find foundation matches. You don't have to walk around looking too red or too yellow, or your foundation is way too light for you. So it's been a learning curve for me, but I have learned to find my foundation shade match. You want to make sure that you are blending your foundation out with a brush or a sponge, whichever works for you. Blending with a brush definitely helps to blend your foundation evenly into your skin to make sure that you are applying evenly on your skin, so you don't have a portion of your face having more foundation than the other part. The goal of this makeup routine or this makeup tutorial is to grasp the basics of getting your makeup to look good for work or for any occasion that you want, because there are definitely a plethora of trends out there, and I know a lot of people get confused with these techniques that are coming out every single day. But this tutorial is just the basics and all you need to know when it comes to doing your makeup in the basic way. After applying your foundation, you want to make sure you're going in with a damp sponge to pick up any excesses or to do some extra blending. It's definitely important to have your foundation blending into your skin evenly and having it flawless. You can use a sponge. This is one from Real Techniques, again affordable and accessible. So just go over to pick up any excess foundation. This is a required step to having your makeup look good. The next step is to contour and highlight. This is to bring some shape and sculpt back to the face, because typically if you use a full coverage foundation, it's gonna make your face look flat, no dimension, and you just have to bring some sculpt back to the face. So I'm gonna start off with contouring or bronzing. Lately, bronzing has been my go-to because it's easier to do and it just brings warmth back to the face. In my opinion, it's a little bit more subtle, natural looking, and flattering as compared to contouring. I typically use cream bronzer. This is one from Juvia's Place that I'm loving currently, and I'm going to show you guys how to place the cream bronzer on your face. First off, I just go in with a rounded brush like this one. I would link all the brushes I'm using down below. All these brushes are linked in my Amazon storefront, so you can check it out down below. I go in with the cream bronzer and I'm going to apply that. Typically you would apply it here in the hollows of the cheekbones, but I find that when I do that, it just kind of drags my face down, so I apply it on my cheekbone, because when I blend it out, it just ends up going a little bit below where I intended to apply it. So I just go a little bit above when I'm applying it. So right here, I'm gonna do one side of my face and I will show you guys exactly what it looks like. I like to do my forehead and temple, so it's like a 3. You're drawing a 3 on the side of your face. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to apply that here as well, which is my jawline and chin. Again, bronzer just gives a subtle sculpt to the face as compared to contouring, which is great. It helps with sculpting the face, but it's a little bit too harsh in my opinion, unless of course you're really good at applying contour. Again, I have videos on my channel showing you how to apply a contour and highlight, so you can definitely check those out. If you compare this side of my face, you'd realize that this side is warmer and a little bit sculpted as compared to this side, which is flatter, and you're trying to go for this look. Bronzing is just easier to blend out and it's more natural looking. So again, you want to draw like a 3 on the face like this and like this, and you want to go in with a little product at a time just to make sure that you are blending everything out seamlessly. You also want to go ahead and apply your bronzer to your nose. I like a little bit of contouring on my nose, so I go ahead and apply my bronzer on my nose. I just apply it all the way up in my brows like this, and then I just drag it down the side of the bridge of my nose, bring it down here. I also like to use the bronzer on my eyelids because I naturally have darker eyelids, and to have a more natural elevated look, I just like to play into my natural features. So I just use the bronzer on my eyelids just to elevate my look. Like I said, I have naturally darker eyelids, so when I use the bronzer, it just plays into it but just makes it uniform and just brings the entire face together. Now we're moving on to highlighting. Typically use a concealer that is 2 or 3 shades lighter than my skin tone. This is going to bring some light back into the face, because as you can see, you've got structure. Now you need to put lights back, and that is the whole purpose of highlighting. Again, you want to play into your natural features, so I'm going by my face shape, and I realized that this works for a lot of people based on the videos that I've been seeing online. I like to apply my concealer here. When it comes to concealer, less is more, especially if you're playing into your natural features. You just want a basic makeup look that makes you look good and put together. You don't want to do too much with concealer, so you want to apply a bit here. This is going to give the face a little bit of a lift. You want to apply some on the chin, because naturally when light hits the face, it hits these points. A little bit on the tip of the nose and the ridge of the nose, and you want to put a little bit on your forehead as well. I have a big forehead, so I don't like to do too much on my forehead because I don't want to play into that feature. I'm trying to just make it look as good as possible and not overdo it. So I'm going to go ahead and blend out this concealer. I like to use my brush. A lot of you have been asking me. This is the Soft Accents brush from Real Techniques. I have it linked in my Amazon storefront, and I would make sure to link it in this video. When you're blending out the concealer, you want to keep the concealer where you apply it. So I'm just going to tap into the concealer until it is blended out as to how I want it blended out. So you want to leave majority of the concealer at the center of the face and just kind of fray out the edges of the concealer so that you have the highlights where you need it. So I know typically this is where a lot of people struggle because it looks harsh and just not what you want to go for. So I'm going to show you guys how to bring this down and make it subtle and make it look good. What you want to do is to go in with your sponge and you're going to go over the areas of the concealer. So you're going to go over everywhere that seems harsh, and when it comes to the nose, you want to squeeze your sponge just like this and make sure that it's going on top of where you want it to go. And then when it comes to the under eye, you want to blend out the edges. Again, like I said, leave majority of the product on the center of your face. So you're just going to blend out the edges of the concealer. I know it still looks scary, but it is subtle. So you're going to go back into the brush that you used to apply the cream bronzer and you're going to go over the edges just to blend in any harsh lines. You're not going in with extra product. You're just using what is left on the brush. Going back into the brush for the nose. And it should look a little bit more subtle like this. If it's not still subtle, you can go back into your sponge and just go over the harsh areas. We're going to move on to setting this down. When it comes to setting the face, you need to maintain your sculpt, so you don't want to use the same color of powder to set your face, otherwise you're going to lose all that you've done. So to set the concealer, you need a loose powder. You can use a translucent powder, which typically just translates into the shade of the concealer that you used, or they have different colors of powders out there. There are purple powders, yellow powders, pink powders. I always suggest using the basic like translucent powder or banana powder, because those ones are easy to work with. You don't need a lot of skill to use them. I personally like this one from Huda Beauty. This is the shade Blondie. If you are in my skin tone range, this is perfect for you. She also has darker shades, so if you are darker than me, you can definitely go on Google or Sephora or Ulta and find you a darker shade that's gonna work for your skin tone. So what you need is a bit of powder at the top, and you need you a powder puff. Before you go in and set your makeup, you want to make sure that you are blending out any creases. Personally, I have creases on my lower eye area. It's typical for regular girlies. So you want to go in with the brush that you use to blend out the concealer and just go over where you would typically crease. This doesn't take long. I find people in my comment section saying, oh, this is gonna take long, this is gonna do this, it's gonna do that. Girl, if you get this routine down, you're not going to take long to do it, and it's gonna be like super quick and easy for you. Also, just go back in with the sponge and just lightly tap the under eye area just to blend it in some more, and make sure that you're blending the corners of your nose. Making the ugliest faces when applying makeup gives you the best results, trust. So you want to go in with your powder puff, dip into the powder. It's gonna look uneven like this. What you want to do is spread it out so you have an even base on the powder puff, just like this, and you're gonna go under the eye and just push it into the concealer. Now when you set the concealer, it's gonna look a little crazy, but don't fret, don't worry, we're gonna get this all the way together. The next step is to set your bronzer. Remember, we're trying to keep the sculpt, we're trying to keep what we created with the creams. So the next step is to go in with a powder bronzer like this one from Juvia's Place. There are different powder bronzers on the market. I definitely have my favorites. This is one of them. You're gonna just go into your brush. Typically a curved brush like this is perfect. This is from the same brush set. You guys should definitely check it out. You want to tap into your bronzer and just go over where you applied the cream bronzer. I'm gonna do one side of my face, and I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. So you're going to set the side, so you realize this side is harsher and this side looks a little bit more subtle, so you're going to make sure to set the side as well. Just tap into your bronzer, tap off the excess if necessary. Now to set the nose contour, you're just gonna go over with the powder bronzer and go over where you applied the cream bronzer on the nose. Remember, we started from underneath the front part of the brows and we're just gonna drag it down. To set the bronzer on the eyelids, of course you want to iron out any creases, so I'm just going over with the part of the brush that I used to apply the cream bronzer and I'm just gonna go over it. I'm also gonna go in with a little bit of setting powder over my eyelids because my eyelids are extra oily, so I just use a little layer of setting powder before I go into my powder bronzer, and I'm going over my eyelids with that. This would create the standard everyday brown smoky eye that looks good, and it looks like you put in a lot of effort when it comes to the eye look. When it comes to the eye look, you typically can just leave it like this or do eyeshadow, whatever sails your boat. But I'm going to show you guys a simple look to put the eye look all the way together. After you've done this standard brown eye look, you can just go in with a black matte eyeshadow and create a line as close to your lash line as possible. I'm going to show you guys. This brush is the M508 brush from Morphe, and this is the Mario Master Matte eyeshadow palette. You don't need these, you just need a very small brush and a matte black eyeshadow. I'm going to use a black eyeliner to tight line. Let me show you guys how to do it. Just put it in between your eyelids and go back and forth. Don't push too hard, just in between your eyelids and then go back and forth, and you just tight line the top and the bottom part of your eyes, and it's going to look like this. Go in with the bronzer and you're going to use that to smoke out the lower lash line, and this should bring the eye look together. So you can stop here or go in with false eyelashes. If you want to elevate your eyelashes, you need a lash curler. This is an affordable one. I don't remember where I got this from, but you just have to curl your eyelashes and this is going to elevate the eyelashes for you. If you have false eyelashes, that is great. If not, you can just curl your eyelashes and apply your mascara. Using this black matte eyeliner on your lash line just kind of gives the impression that you have bigger eyelashes when you really don't. The next step is blush. You can skip this and not apply blush. I am a blush girly, so I'm going to show you guys where I apply my blush. You're going to apply that in between the contour and the highlight, so right here. Next step is to set everything down. I'm gonna use my setting spray. This is from Milani. This is when you apply your mascara if you didn't apply falsies. So I'm going to apply mascara on my lower lash line. And highlighter on the face. If you want a little bit of shimmer, you can. If not, just skip this step. Next step, you need a brown lip liner. I'm using the Morphe Trendsetter and I'm going to use that to line my lips. The next step, you can do a matte lip or glossy lip. I'm gonna use the Fenty Gloss Bomb Sticks in the shade Fenty Glow. So this is the end of the video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you liked it and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll make sure to tag all the products that I used down below for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.